Alright, hi everyone, welcome to No Man's Sky. We're in 4.0 and a lot of stuff has changed. We're gonna do a new game. And there are new modes here, including custom mode, and in custom mode you can select the difficulties here: creative, relaxed, survival, permadeath, normal mode, and you can see here on normal mode the settings that it defaults to. Now there are some changes to normal mode. One of them is if you go down to crafted and item settings, the goods available. As long as this is set to standard, you cannot buy ferrite dust and oxygen and batteries and life support gels inside most space stations, if not all space stations. Obviously, I didn't check them all. I checked a lot. And they're not available. You can also turn the tutorial off. Only on a new game can you turn the tutorial off. I wanted to see if they've changed the tutorial any, so I thought, let's start a new normal save here and run through the tutorial, just a standard game, to see if the beginning of the game has changed any. So rather than start from the custom screen, we're going to start from right here. New normal save, No Man's Sky 4.0. They got rid of the whoosh noise. Alright, here we go.
Commencing Atlas system suit initialization.
So this is actually my second start. The first one was on a cold planet, which I don't like, but the number of plants was just zero. It's like no trees, and they had these little stubby plants that would give you like 250 carbon a plant, which is crazy, but I could hardly find any of them. Well, we're on another cold planet. It's the day of cold planets.
Aerial propulsion jetpack online.
So I'm doing the tutorial quest because I want to see if anything changed. The Eurogame article talked about how some things might change in the tutorial. And there's going to be players with the Switch that maybe haven't stepped through the tutorial before. So this is your normal start. When the suit lady lets go of you, you're facing your ship. And you need to follow some of these steps here. There's some dihydrogen crystals here that I happen to notice. I know I'm going to need some of this in the future, so I'm going to grab some of it. Wants me to perform a scan because the scanner's critically damaged. And then it says I need to gather some ferrite dust for repairs. I can right-click to get rid of that. I am on a PC. And so I'm going to go ahead and run in this direction. It's normal mode, so the risk is pretty low. And aha, here's some oxygen plants. So these dudes, they're hazardous. You want to stay away from them, but you can hit E and grab those gassy pods and get some oxygen. But then you want to get away from it before they blow up. And then if you shoot them, you also get some more oxygen. And I guess I'm greedy for oxygen, so let me grab 2 more gassy pods here. There's another one on the other side I'm not going to get. And then I'm going to do this. Now, my mining beam only has 40 power juice left, so I'm going to want to shoot some trees for carbon. Again, every planet's different. If you start out and you have trouble finding stuff, just restart the game, because it's procedural. So sometimes you get a planet that's nice to start on, and sometimes it's no good. I'm supposed to be getting ferrite dust. Now, most of these little rocks on the ground are going to have ferrite dust in them. There's some more dihydrogen crystals scattered around. Hard to see the blue on the white background. But I want to start collecting ferrite dust. Just keeping count in the lower right-hand corner. 48, 50 ferrite dust. Once I get to 75, it's going to tell me, hey, I can repair that scanner. I'm almost there. Weapon charge is depleted. I can now repair the scanner. The first thing I want to do is hit X, charge, mining beam. That 462 carbon I created, I'm going to use 80 of it to recharge the mining beam. I'm going to get a little more ferrite dust here. You got plenty of time in normal mode. The hazard protection is running down, but it's running down very slowly. Alright, so you hit the tab key to go into inventory. This thing highlights, it says you can repair it. We'll just click to repair it. And now we'll scan with the C key. It wants me to locate sodium. There's some over here. Let's go grab some over here. Whee! There's some. There's some more. And then recharge the hazard protection. You can hit X for the quick menu on the PC anyway. the battery, hazard protection. There you go. And the little beginning song starts to play, and it should light up with an icon that shows me where my ship is. There it is. My crashed ship is over there. So I need to get there. Now, if you've collected enough carbon, the other thing that you can do to help navigate is create a carbon nanotube out of the carbon. Go over to your multi-tool, and one of the recipes you know, and we'll go way over to this slot, is an analysis visor. Let's go ahead and install that. It needs 1 carbon nanotube. And look at this. This inventory arrangement for this little gun is completely different. A lot more slots. So now I get a heads-up display, and I get a compass. And let's grab some more oxygen, and we'll get over to the ship. Now, with the analysis visor installed, you can analyze stuff. They said they've changed some of the components of plants, so this, you can tell this is just carbon. If I identify it, I'm going to get a name, but it's still going to be just carbon. Aha! The second element says analyze, so let's go ahead and scan this little plant here. Wow! The primary element is carbon, the secondary element is condensed carbon. That's a fine plant right there, because we're going to need condensed carbon in our future, and this is just carbon again. How about that? That's a fun change. I approve of this change. How about these rocks? This is ferrite dust and something else. Let's go ahead and analyze this rock and see what... The secondary is usually chromatic metal? The secondary used to be something that you needed for your shield. If you had a shield. Chromatic metal, wow. I'd be interested in knowing if anybody else found that combination, because that's a pretty rare combination. Chromatic metal this early in the game? That's pretty rare. And let's analyze this one and see if it's just as crazy. I'm expecting dioxide. Secondary element sodium, okay. That's also a nice secondary element to get. The secondary on plants used to be just absolute junk. Condensed carbon again. Wow. One of the nice things about scanning plants with that have secondaries is that you can shoot them with your ship. Once you get the ship and you have the guns in the ship and everything, you can shoot the ground and you will get the secondary of any plant that you've already scanned. And that can help mine things a lot faster than on the ground. Unless they changed it. Ferrite dust and oxygen. Man. Alright, here's our ship, the Radiant Pillar. And let's collect these oxygen plants here. Being careful not to walk in the middle of them, because it still screws up the old third-person view. Who knows why. Here is the quest. You start the quest here. Although you don't need to. I want to check out the damaged machinery, because you can get stuff in here. Now, this viscous fluids can be refined into mold and then refined into nanites. I don't think it's worth it. I use the middle mouse button or whatever it is on your controller to delete. And 29 nanites, and sometimes you get a technology upgrade. You never know. Usually not. If you're me, almost never. But let's get in the ship. Iteration 4924G. Atlas connection. Oh, I forgot to start the quest. Launch thrusters offline. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to hit that first. You'll still get the same text. It'll just be after this step. Find myself alone on a strange world. I'm going to quickly go through these quest steps because these have not changed. Read the log. 4925A is unavailable. We're going to substitute the data. I still don't know what that means. We're just making up a story. Select the desired repair path. There's only one. Repair the ship's systems. Alright. Our pulse engine is critically damaged. If we hit tab, we see that in the starship, the pulse engine has a little exclamation point by it. It needs metal plating and a hermetic seal. I can make metal plating because I got enough ferrite dust. Metal plating takes 50 ferrite dust. Then I can drop the metal plating onto this. But I don't have a hermetic seal. What are we to do? Well, we get out of the ship. And then we get back in. And this should start the next step, maybe. There it goes. Iteration 4924G, functional, starship critically damaged, unable to synthesize required components. I need a hermetic seal. Let's request assistance. Let's get a planetary chart out of the distress beacon. Alright, so the first thing that's going to happen is going to do the first part of the quest that I skipped. Look at new effects. Check it out. The red ball of doom. Boundary separation failure. Sentinel intervention. Fresh iteration generated. Let's broadcast our location. Poof, I suppose. Look at those ships, would you? 2 haulers and an explorer. Anomaly is compliant. The position's been logged. A red light fills my vision. All I see is crimson, and then it fades. The color drains, and the words that have seemed to be so clear seem to slip away. Appear inside the beacon's housing, as well as a distress broadcast unit that contains a planetary chart. Let's take the chart. Alright. Now we go into inventory. Here's the chart. We can hit E, plot route.
Navigational data received.
And any cool buildings nearby? Those ships are just zooming around. I don't see anything cool. There's our destination now. We got to go over there. It's 893 units away, and there's going to be a storm. I haven't seen any caves, but there's a ton of sodium on this planet, and I've collected a good amount of sodium. So I have to go over there, reach the marked coordinates. There is what we call a scripted storm, which means that everybody gets this. And we're in normal mode, so we're not going to need much. But I'll just make sure I have enough sodium, because the storm's going to make our hazard protection drop faster. And on a cold planet, it is hard to see in these storms. Anything no... Ooh, I can scan this. What's going to be the secondary on this? Dihydrogen again. I'm liking it. I never really used the secondary. Uranium was always convenient. If you're on a radioactive planet, the secondary was always uranium. So that was always convenient. But really, I normally just use batteries. Although you can't buy batteries now. You're gonna have to craft batteries, which means I need to find a cave with cobalt if I want to craft batteries. And cobalt is one of the things that's missing from the store now. You cannot buy cobalt. So everything that you need to craft some of your survival stuff, here's the storm, has got to be mined. But this is a setting that can be easily changed. I can go into the settings right now, and I can change the store availability to abundant, and all that stuff will be available if you feel like that's a grind. So that's a pretty cool change. Over in options, you just go to difficulty settings. You go down to goods availability. If you change it to abundant, batteries and life support gel and cobalt and ferrite dust and oxygen and sodium will all be available at the store. Standard mode now, it's not available in the store. Alright. See our hazard protection, how it's 3 arrows and dropping faster than normal. This is why it's recommended that you find a cave. I haven't seen the cave yet. I think I've got plenty of sodium to keep us alive. Depending on your platform, if you're on PC, this move I'm doing with the jetpack, if you hit space, you get the jetpack. If you hit Q, you punch. If you hit Q space, you get kind of that angle that I'm going forward. That's a punch jump. I don't know, a jetpack jump. And I need to you know what? I'm not going to recharge because I'm already here. I can take cover in here. You can see how it's, now that my hazard protection's offline, it's dropping my shields. Let's hop in here. And we'll recharge while we're safe in here. Alright, and here's the holo archive. Let's step through the quest. Accessing archive. 4924A follows. Making a recording in case, leaving behind, visor damage, can't find the ship, recover supplies. This is normally where it tells you how to make the analysis visor, which I created early. And there's our hermetic seal. So not only do we get a hermetic seal right here, but we also get the recipe for the hermetic seal if we need to make more. Alright. And the storm's clearing. I'm gonna need, let's recharge the oxygen with all the oxygen I picked up. Alright. And the storm's over. Life is good. And here's some cobalt. I don't think I picked up any cobalt yet, have I? No. We'll pick up a little bit of cobalt and we'll make some batteries. Just in case. Oh, this cobalt has a secondary. Let me analyze it real quick. What's going to be the secondary? Dihydrogen, again. Alright. Analyze objects for rewards. I already have. Locate the starship. It's right there. I already did. Mining beam is low. Let's recharge it. With 80 of the 700 carbon I have. Alright, I got a little bit of cobalt. So, let's create some batteries. Go over to the exosuit. Click on a blank spot. Oh, we have a geode. Analyze it for more cobalt. Batteries. Take 5 ferrite dust and 10 cobalt. I'm going to use the D key to up this number. Nope, I can only build 1 because... Why? It's not working right? Craft more. Oh, wait a minute now. If I want to craft a battery, build, change craft amount with A and D. Okay, that's broken. It's patch day. Stuff's going to be broken. I can't create more than 1. But then after I create 1, I can hover over this and hit the E key to craft more. So, we'll have 10 batteries is plenty. Interesting. The A and D keys should have worked. Wheat. Let's grab some food. The food usually just recharges something. I think wheat is hazard protection. You can go over to the exosuit, hover over the wheat. I can eat it, consume it. Yeah. See the hazard protection number, 82%? Every time I hit E to eat one of these, that goes up 10%. So I'm at 100%. That's another way to recharge the hazard protection. Alright, we're back to the ship. We can install the hermetic seal. So we can open this up and say, hey, I've got one of these hermetic seals. And then wait patiently because the quest is going to trigger and then tell us, hey, the launch thruster is critically damaged. We need pure ferrite and dihydrogen jelly. Pure ferrite has a new icon. Dihydrogen jelly is one of those things you can make. You make it from dihydrogen. You need 40 of it. And I'll just drop it in there. Now I need pure ferrite. I need to refine that. And it's going to tell me I need to refine it. I need 1 metal plating for the refiner. I'm going to hit the build button. Thank you. I'm going to hit the build button. Portable refiner. It needs 30 oxygen and 1 metal plating. And then the fuel for this is carbon or condensed carbon. I'm going to use carbon. And I need 50 pure ferrite. I'm going to take my ferrite dust, and depending on your controller or the keyboard, I'm going to hit C to bump this down, and then I'm going to wheel it up to back to 50. It's 1-to-1 over to pure ferrite. I need 50 pure ferrite. There we go. It's done. Okay, all I need is a pure ferrite. So now I can pick the portable refiner up. The portable refiner and everything in it goes into my inventory, conveniently enough. It goes into the exosuit inventory. There's a portable refiner, and you can delete it, but you don't get any of your materials back if you delete it from your inventory. Now that I've got everything that I need, let's go ahead and click this button, and there's the 50 pure ferrite right there. And the Happy Quest completion music plays. And it says, I'm ready to launch into space. Alright, so a couple things, just conveniences here. I like to be able to switch between third person and first person in both the ship and on foot. So I'm going to use the quick menu. I'm going to go over to utilities. There's toggle camera view. I'm going to hold down control and hit 2. I'm not sure if you can hotkey this on consoles or not, but you can on the PC. Now that I'm in the ship, I'm going to hit the quick menu, and if you can't, this is how you switch views. You go to the quick menu and you say switch starship views. I can bind it to a key. So there, now I can switch from third person to first person. We're still not in first person. And you can look around, usually with the secondary joystick, or holding down the Alt key, you can look around. Radiant Pillar has a really nice window? Cockpit? Something? Anyway, we're up. Alright, now I'm going to hit the S key to slow down. I'm going to start shooting the ground. This is a great way to mine. This is like mining. Mining for dummies. Don't overheat, by the way. And you can see right away, if you look at the Starship inventory, I've collected 99 carbon, 39 oxygen. We've got the sodium, the condensed carbon. And careful not to hit any trees like that. Sometimes you can even aim near caves and pick up cobalt. Look out. Alright, I've hurt the shields a bunch. Picked up some cobalt there, yeah. So yeah, 717 carbon, 130 condensed carbon, 114 oxygen, 1,800 ferrite, really quick. And I did pick up 4 chromatic metal. I'm going to need more than that. We're going to have to refine some copper. But anyway, all systems functional, seek answers in the stars. So let's shoot up into space. We're in the Eugeon system. In Euclid Galaxy, I discovered this. Test the flight controls with W. I am hitting W. Sometimes this takes a little bit. There. Test the boost with shift. Hit the shift key. It'll tell you, if you're using a controller, it'll tell you what to hit there. And then hit space to pulse. I want to head towards the space station. You can see it. It doesn't show up yet, but see that little dot there? And see how I have the diamond targeted on the radar display? I'm going to aim towards that as I pulse in. And might as well get a scan. What's this planet? Scorched planet. Incoming message. Alright, let's answer the phone. Incoming transmission. Source 4925B. Did I read that right? Identify yourself. I am Gz. You are not Gz. Follow the Gz. Broadcast ends as strangely as it begins, but it gave me some planetary coordinates. Where are they? Yeah, they are right there. So we're getting this approximate location. That means I'm going to have to get out on foot and find the exact location with my analysis visor. There's a wrecked freighter. So let's land in the approximate location. It's a nice planet. Let's hop out. Is this the hot planet? Pleasant, bountiful. Is this actually a lush planet? Alright, I can't see yet. Targeted, target sweep. Look at those frigates. In this general direction, we think. And finally I've arrived. Here it is. Broken technology. Sparking wires and machine generator signal tapping out its broadcast into the void. Whoever left this message is long gone. Decipher the signal. Decoding. 16s. No fuel. Failed to reach station. Hazard protection low. We get a base computer and a terrain manipulator. Plans, anyway. There we go. Base computer needs 30 chromatic metal. And the terrain manipulator needs 2 carbon nanotubes and some dihydrogen jelly. We should have plenty of carbon. I'm going to go ahead and summon my ship. The launch thrusters are full because I just repaired them. So I'm going to summon the ship. They're not full, actually. They're empty now, but the first takeoff took half. And now I think the launch thrusters will be empty. If I look at the ship, the launch thrusters on the ship are in fact empty. I need launch fuel to do those. To make launch fuel, you need, here's starship fuel, metal plating and dihydrogen. Let's make, again, I can't make more than 1 metal plating. Wonder if there's any way to fix that. Is it the arrows? Nope, it just doesn't work. Okay. I think I'm going to need 2 metal plating total, but let's make starship launch fuel. We'll make 2 starship launch fuel. We'll put 1 in. We'll keep 1 again. How did I scroll this? Ew. How did I get this scrolled? How did this scroll? Can I get back in? Is it still scrolled? Okay, it's unscrolled. I'm not sure how I scrolled it. It was magic. It's patch day, everybody. I want to get some navigation data too, so let's do a save and chart. There we go. I turned off the option fade to white. I thought maybe that it wouldn't fade at all, but instead it fades to black. So I guess that's dark mode. I'm not sure. Anyway, we get that. We got the recipes here. The terrain manipulator is what I want to install. That takes 2 carbon nanotubes. There's 2. And a dihydrogen jelly. There's 1 of those. Let's go over to the multi-tool. And let's hit... Oh, we don't have to hit E or anything. We just Install the train manipulator, 2 carbon nanotubes, and some dihydrogen jelly. We now have the train manipulator, which means we can dig a hole in the ground. And next to every damaged machinery is some buried tech. With the train manipulator active, we're going to dig down here and grab some technology modules and salvage data, I should say, and we get just 2. Yep, that's a new icon as well. How about that? So what if I scan these? Let's scan some of these things. I'm curious. Scan this dude. Ferrite, dust, and dihydrogen, so it's very similar. Alright. I want to find some copper. There's copper at 258. And the reason I want to find some copper, there's another building over there too, is that I want to train manipulate it, get it out of the ground, which I can do with the train manipulator, and then create some chromatic metal by refining it. Alright, now to get the maximum amount of resource out of here, you want your train manipulator active, and you can change what's active using the G key or whatever the corresponding key is for the controller. This is the mining beam, this is a train manipulator. Then once you make the train manipulator active, you can use the T and the R keys to change the beam size. The bigger the beam, the faster you're going to pull the stuff out of the ground, but you get less. So you want it to be as small as possible. This takes the most time, but you get the most amount of the resource. And I'm going to grab, I don't know, a couple hundred copper here. I just grabbed 256 copper, that's plenty. Let's get back to the ship. And this is a fine planet, honestly, to put a base on. If you're just starting up and you just want to get through the tutorial at first, let's put a base down as fast as possible here. And we might as well put one down here. So I'm going to need some more chromatic metal for that. So I'm going to put down my portable refiner. Fuel it up. There we go. And we're going to take that copper wherever it is. I'm using the mouse wheel to scroll here. There's 256 copper. It's going to turn it into 128 chromatic metal. Alright, and about 40 seconds later we have our chromatic metal. We'll put it in the... Oh, that's interesting, because there's no difference between cargo and main suit slots. This menu's a lot smaller. There, we have chromatic metal. Let's pick this up. And, you know, the base has to go on a hill. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. Life support's a little low. Let's recharge that. And we'll put the base up here. Right, Z key, base computer, there it is. We'll put it down. It's the Mirac base, which can be renamed. Searching cartographic archives. No prior claims on this site. Do we want to claim it? Yes, we do. I don't see any cool buildings nearby. Alright. Quest starts up again. Let's talk to the base computer. Accessing log from previous user. Entry 4925D follows. Storm sweeping across GZ, but construction supplies low. Depositing shelter plants while GZ need to GZ back soon. Extract plants. Alright, we get some base plans. This is why it's important to have a lot of carbon. Now, my carbon is actually all the way down at the ship. Most of it is. Let me get down here and transfer it back up. And then, because we need carbon and ferrite to build a base. Starship. You can use the quick menu here to transfer it to the exosuit. Alright, let's put down some floor panels. We can hit B for camera mode. And you can actually put the floor panel below the base computer. So I'm going to do that. Your base needs to be so big. For a lame first base, I'm just going to put down a number of these panels, and it looks like I have to move to put down this panel. Good, I got enough. I want to put down one more. And there is a storm. This storm is scripted. This storm will always start up. Because we're on a paradise planet, which normally doesn't have storms, this will probably be a heat storm. Base computer's back online. I think my base is big enough. I've got enough to build walls. Let's go Z. And let's put a door in this place. Why can't I put a door? I need pure ferrite. Alright. Alright, I needed some pure ferrite for some of the building parts. I figured I'd build just a small base. Might as well make a decent sized base, right? There's that much. Exosuit, let's pull stuff out. I'm gonna leave the refiner here. One little trick here is while you're in build mode, and I want to build a door, you're kind of immune from the storm, which is good. There's the door. And let's do the other pieces. Let's just do some regular walls. There we go. And then there is a specialized roof piece right here. This needs ferrite dust and carbon. And this, I think, actually makes it tall enough that you can put a teleporter in and you don't have to build a 2-story base. So once we get this roof finished, you can see the beep. I go inside. And now I have an enclosed base with a nice door. Now I've got this base computer here. You can actually move stuff now. You can go into the build menu and then edit place parts C and just aim and click on it, and then you can scoot it over. I'm going to scoot it over to right here. And I don't know if it's going to face the right direction. It's still going to face the wrong direction. Well, you can twist it around. We're just going to deal with that now. Anyway, the base computer's back online. What's it want me to do? Exit logs from previous user. Entry 4925E follows. Construction largely success. Recovered salvage data from nearby plants log. Building indicates additional subterranean devices. Okay, what we have to do now is we have to dig up some more buried tech. And then we build a blueprint. We build a construction research unit. We buy some tech to build a teleporter and stuff. But that is going to have to be for next time. The other exciting thing I want to see as soon as possible is the base quest has changed. Wait a minute. Is there steps? Do I have steps? I don't have steps right off the bat. That's a shame. Makes it easier. If you have steps, it makes it easier to get in and out. Anyway, the base quest has changed. It's not on a timer anymore. I couldn't really understand what it is, so I want to see it. And the rewards are apparently improved. That might be another way to get blueprints without getting them from the anomaly. I don't know. But that is going to be it for this time. For a new normal mode save. Running through the tutorial to see what changed in No Man's Sky 4.0. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you later.